The commercial cleaning industry is incredible. Recurring contracts, clients that pay you the same amount month after month, every single month. And it's a real service-based business that you never have to get in and actually do the service. I'm talking real money, real freedom, and it's actually simple. So why do so many people quit in their first year? See, that's a question a lot of people don't answer honestly. And I think it's because most people don't even know the real answer. They quit and they blame the business. They say it was too hard. They say it's too competitive. Nobody wants to pay real money. And they think that's why they quit. But I don't think that's the truth. So in this video, I'm going to give you the real reason I believe people walk away in the first year from a business that could have changed their life. And why I believe it has nothing to do with the actual business itself. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So why do so many people quit something so good? That's because nobody showed them what year one actually looks like, right? I'm talking about, look, a lot of content on Instagram, YouTube, etc. And we're just talking about the positives. I could fall into that trap at times, right? But we don't talk about the moments that almost, really broke us in year one, right? The walls, the things that when it's happening, you don't think it's normal because you don't know any better. And you think, well, I must be a failure. I must be doing something wrong. And then they walk away. But that's not true. Because here's what's actually going on. Almost every single person who actually quits does it for one reason: bad clients. Not a broken model, not because it's too much work, not because the money isn't there, because the money is there. It's bad clients. They take whatever comes in the door early on because they need the cash. And they see the red flags and they push past them. And then they spend weeks dealing with the accounts that drain them. And they complain all the time, and they're constantly blowing up your emails and your text messages telling you suck. And after enough of that abuse, well, they look at the whole thing and say, well, this business isn't worth it. But they are not looking at the business. They are looking at the worst version of it. Now, I know this because I've lived it. Early on, we had a school account. And from day one, the signs were there. Like, I totally should have walked away, but I didn't. This woman was always around. She was always watching, always pointing things out while my crew was still working. And even when we would fix everything, we would still wake up to a new email the next morning telling us how much we sucked. It wore us out. And at some point, my wife and I looked at each other and we were like, is this even worth it? Did we pick the wrong business? One client, one bad account, and it was making us feel like we should walk away from the whole thing. So we finally gave her notice, and it didn't go how we expected it to go because she didn't get mad at us. She kind of got scared. She asked why we were leaving. She tried to hold on to us. And it was right there I saw it clearly. The problem was never the business. The problem was that we had settled for a bad nightmare client. And we let that one account define the whole thing. So I truly believe most people who quit do not have one bad client. They have 3 or possibly even 4 that aren't even paying enough to be a bad client. And then they decide whether or not if this business is actually worth it. They just never found the right clients. And hey, if you are someone who wants to build this business around great clients, click the first link in the description, have a talk with my team, see if we can help you get those clients. Now, what does the right client actually look like? And what does having the wrong client, well, what does it cost you? See, after we let that school go, things started to shift. We went after bigger accounts, better clients, businesses with real budgets and respect for what we actually delivered. And then we landed our first Mercedes-Benz dealership, and that felt incredible. $6,800 per month for one client. But after a few weeks, my brain started to attack and say, yeah, but that was just luck. And then we landed our second high-ticket account. It was a BMW. And then when we did, everything clicked because now I knew it was no longer luck. I knew this was something repeatable. And if we kept doing what we were doing, we would work with fewer clients who could pay us more money. And then we can build something real. And now that gap between the school and the dealership, I mean, it was double the contract size, double the profit. And get this, they were a dream to work with. They paid on time, they didn't complain to us, and when they had to point something out, it was just a simple note. They actually trusted us to handle the job, and that was that. And now here's what I learned after my first year dealing with this. The clients who pay the most are almost always the easiest to deal with because there's no drama, there's no watching over your shoulder. They want the job done right, and they're happy to pay for it. The ones who pay the least tend to be the worst because they're the most demanding, the most draining. And I know this, so when someone tells me that this business isn't worth it, well, I always ask the same thing. What kind of clients were you working with? Because this business is a gold mine. Recurring money, it's simple to run, simple to scale. It's not going to take over your life if you don't let it. But you only get to see that side of things if you're working with the right people. So how do you make sure you do not quit on something that is about to work? See, the key is you have to go in knowing what year one actually feels like. It's going to have hard moments. There will be clients that test you every once in a while. And it's going to feel like you have a day where nothing feels like it's going right. I mean, that's just the honest truth, but that's any business when you really think about it. And I want you to know that that's not a sign that the business is broken. That's just year one. You will have days like that. The people who make it through are not tougher or smarter than you. They just knew what was coming, or they got prepared really quickly when they started experiencing it, like was my experience. And ultimately, it keeps coming down to you just can't settle for bad clients. That's the whole name of the game. Do not let one bad account define this business. Go after the right clients from day one. Keep reminding yourself that this model is amazing. Keep reminding yourself what it's capable of, the simplicity, how you can keep it on the side, how it's never going to take over your life, how you can scale this thing, how you're 5 accounts away from freedom, 5 of the right accounts from freedom. Now, if you're fired up on getting the right clients and you don't want to make this mistake and you want to supercharge your business, watch this video right here. It's going to show you how to do that. Go over there. I'm waiting for you.